The silence was not a mantle of peace, it was a blanket of toxic denial. Aisha, a 36-year-old teacher who specialized in shaping futures for others, ran her life on an impossibly smooth track, excelling everywhere except where it mattered most, her own health. The quiet thought, that subtle, persistent whisper behind her left ear, had ceased being a suggestion. It was a siren, screaming through the pristine composure of her demanding career. She had perfected the art of strategic self-neglect, prioritizing lesson plans and the relentless pressure of proving herself over the glaring evidence of her body. Her dedication to her Birmingham community was unparalleled, but her life was running on borrowed time. One bright spring morning, the light streaming through her window was too honest. It caught the discoloration on her skin, a disregarded anomaly she had meticulously postponed for 6 months. In that moment, standing before the mirror, she did not just see it. She saw the high premium she paid for perfectionism, a life lived on the sidelines of her own needs. This was the internal enemy, the harmful pressure of neglecting herself. The silence did not break, she broke it. Aisha made the call not out of paralyzing fear, but out of a sudden, fierce self-possession. The appointment was a moment carved out of her ironclad schedule, a declaration of war against the complacency that was eating her life. This was the pivot. She did not view awareness as an interruption to her routine anymore. She saw it as an invitation to fight for her future. For the first time, she did not rush past it. She faced it. When the diagnosis came, skin cancer, it did not arrive with a bang. It arrived with a chilling, precise timing, not late, not beyond reach, in time. The terror was immediately neutralized by the force of her prior decision. She had already chosen the path of action, and that choice became her shield. The support she needed flowed in. The GP who listened, the specialist who spoke with crystalline clarity, and the family who showed up not just with concern, but with the practical presence of people ready to fight. In that moment, Aisha understood the profound depth of her new liberty. It was not merely freedom from the fear, it was assertive freedom to respond, to trust the revelation, and to act on the knowledge that God's provision was not always a spiritual miracle. It was a purposeful package wrapped in medicine, expertise, and the loyalty of loved ones. She embraced the truth that responsibility was not pressure, but a privileged partnership. Be wise, making the most of every opportunity. She was now embracing wisdom by not fearing the cost of her own healing. Her initial hesitation, once a liability, had been transformed into the very discipline that saved her. Liberty had revealed and unfolded a profound depth in her to trust Yahweh. She realized the sources Yahweh supplies come in different forms and moments, and each one carries provision. Her life had been protected, and now, standing on the precipice of a calling, she turned her attention inward, knowing that her first essential act of liberty was to give voice to the partnership that had saved her. And with that profound, hard-won clarity, Aisha stepped into the quiet space between the chaos and the calling, lifting her voice in a prayer that was no longer a plea for rescue, but a declaration of unbreakable trust. Father, thank you for the alarm that broke the silence. Thank you for not allowing me to negotiate my own destruction. I confess that I confused striving with wisdom and perfectionism with peace. You met me in my hesitation and gave me the courage to act quickly when it mattered most. Teach me to honor the life you have given me by not postponing my own well-being. Help me to trust you, not only in what I feel in the deep spaces of my spirit, but in the practical, tangible help you reveal through people, medicine, and appointments. Thank you for the GP who listened and the family who showed up. Let me never overlook the provision you supply in different forms and ways. Believing in what you are doing, I know that my story is becoming a light for every person wrestling with the silent weight, that they may see, choose action, and step into the calling to live. In your presence, I find strength. In your wisdom, I find direction. Amen.